am Mecha Random 42, your favorite YouTube harpy, and we have, sadly, some more Star Trek Discovery news. It is the new trailer for the Saru short trek episode. What is it called? Something into the stars or whatever. The Brightest Star. It's a Saru episode, and Saru is one of the characters on the show that I would like to actually see more of. You know, not so much the Michael Burnham show starring Michael Burnham as Michael Burnham. I don't want to see that. I want to see more of the secondary characters. I want to know, like, what makes them tick. What do they like to eat? What are their aspirations? You know, what are their names? We don't know a lot about these people on the ship other than Michael Burnham. And that's a huge mistake with Star Trek. So, also, I have to put this warning. It's trigger warning. If you are a huge fan of Star Trek Discovery, you probably will not like my channel. No guarantees, but whatever. Yeah, I tend to be pretty hard on Star Trek Discovery, probably an understatement, because it's Star Trek, and it needs to do better. So let's just look right at let's look at the... Alright, it's an Entertainment Weekly article. Did this come out today? November 27th. It came out today. Saru's life on his home planet is shown for the first time in the above exclusive trailer for an upcoming short trek, Star Trek Short Treks film that explores the backstory of the fan-favorite Starfleet officer. I could probably play a second of this here. I don't know how their pop-ups work.
When my people look up at the stars.
Okay, so that's Saru. Yeah, it's still so blue, though. Why is it so blue? Why are you so blue? You don't need to be this blue. Really, you don't need to be this blue. Turn on the lights. You're outside. And that just looks like that Pavo planet again. Why do the interiors look like Pavo from episode 9? Alright, he found something. Saru found something. I don't know what it was. It was like a note. They're in a giant circle. What? Alright. So they discovered aliens? Is that what we're doing here? Is that what we're talking about? Probably.
Beyond the skies.
Saru.
Short Treks continues with the Brightest Star on December 6th.
Alright, December 6th. Sure, fine, whatever. In the Brightest Star, Saru Doug Jones lived a simple life on his home planet of Kaminar with his father and young sister. Young Saru, full of integrity and a level of curiosity uncommon among his people, yearns to find out what lies beyond his village, leading him on an unexpected path. Here's a photo, too! There's a photo. Holy crap, it's a photo. Yep. So they're kelp farmers? Is that what we're getting? Yeah, I guess that's what we're getting. Saru, of course, is a Kelpian. That's interesting to see in the above image, right here, that his people actually farm kelp. We know that the Kelpians are a prey species that were hunted and in constant danger on their home planet, which is how they developed a sixth sense for imminent danger. Their threat ganglia on the back of their throat, or the back of their neck that, you know, people like the Mirror Universe Giorgio like to eat, apparently. I don't know. The Brightest Star has its premiere on Thursday, December 6th, and is one of 4 self-contained films, each about 10 to 15 minutes in length in the Trek universe, that led up to the 2-season premiere Star Trek Discovery on CBS All Access January 17th. Oh, Lord. Season 2 premiere. I don't want it. I don't care. I don't want to know. So, here's the thing. Here's the thing about these short treks. First off, why are we learning about Saru, like one of the main characters, or supposed main characters, in an ensemble cast, which we don't have in Discovery, obviously. Why are we learning about him in a little 15-minute short episode that isn't even aired on Netflix in Europe, from what I'm understanding? You can only get it through CBS All Access. Why are we learning about a main character? Like, why wasn't this a backstory in episode 9, when Saru should have been, like, the main focus of that episode, where he's on the planet that has that vibration thing, and they were going to send sonar in space in that episode to detect Klingon ships that they already knew how to detect. But yeah, why wasn't that a Saru episode? I could go on for days about how bad that episode was. But seriously, why don't we have episodes based on characters so we don't have to do this stuff? I have so little hope for these short treks, because the first one started out terrible. I'll link my review to that in the description below. That first short trek turned out so bad. I was left wondering how Tilly even, like, managed to survive on a ship. Like, how did she even get on this ship? if she doesn't know the simplest things, you know, like the intruder alert thing, like looking up this intruder will trigger, you know, security, and beaming somebody off of the ship in the middle of space or something would probably alert security as well. No, I had so many issues with that. Calypso was the best of the short treks. It was so bad, though, as well, because the more you think about it, the more you realize how many things are bad about it. Like, why would they leave their top secret ship in the middle of nowhere with their crew long abandoning it? What did they do? Just forget it existed? I mean, they have other ships that they were retrofitting with spore drives. They could have just spored around and looked for it. Probably not. It would have been like a needle in a haystack. But then again, the whole crew was missing on the ship, and I guess it had been adrift for 1,000 years. You would think that someone would have gone out looking for it, since it was their top secret ship, like their state-of-the-art, top-of-the-line ship. But no, you know, so we have the ship becoming sentient in 1,000 years, because ships can do that, and messing with some guy who ends up just kind of stumbling upon the ship by accident. Yeah, that one was the best one so far, and it was terrible. So what's this one going to be like? It makes me wonder, what is this one going to be like? When Saru is one of those characters that I want to like. I want to know more about him. When he actually gets out of his comfort zone and comes out of his shell and takes command of the ship, Saru is actually a decent character. My issue is, so much of Discovery, the writing has been so subpar. You know, we have fragments of stories, or we have things that sound like a 5-year-old rambled them off. Like in the episode Runaway, Tilly had this person, I mean, spoiler if you haven't seen Runaway, Tilly had this person on the ship who basically in 5 minutes went from saying, my planet is my twin, I was born at the same time as my planet, therefore she's my sister, I was working in the mines, my mother wouldn't let me, like, be a scientist because she had me working in the mines. Oh, but I'm a princess and I'm going to be queen. Oh, and you need to beam me out in the middle of space, but protect me and don't tell anybody that I'm here. You know, and that was all in the span of like 5 minutes from one character. It was so inconsistent. It was like a 5-year-old rambling. So I don't see how this one's going to be any better. I mean, they took the time to put more Kelpians in makeup, so I guess they put some money in this one. You have a few secondary characters. You don't just have one character on an empty ship. It looks like they actually, you know, went outside and probably filmed this somewhere in Canada where they filmed the other stuff. If you pull this up here, this photo of Saru, I don't know. It might be better than the rest. I'm optimistic thinking that this one will be better than Calypso because they look like they went to more trouble. But man, this really could have been something that they just added as a flashback instead of so much Michael Burnham crap. I don't know. I don't know. And I mean, at the end of the day, are these treks really even worth it? Are the short treks enough to even bother reviewing? Because they take about an hour out of my day. I mean, I guess I can keep reviewing them because we're going to have to come right back into Star Trek Discovery. But I mean, these short trek episodes are 15 minutes or 13 minutes, minus the credits, of just filler, of stuff that probably could have just been included in other episodes, probably could have been rewritten a few times and made actually decent. Runaway is a prime example. It could have probably been a decent episode had you had a couple of other characters to kind of bounce ideas off of, and not just made it Tilly has to decide on her own episode. I don't know. I mean, I guess this one could be better as long as we don't see Kelpians getting eaten. I mean, if they'd go that route and say, oh yeah, Kelpians were hunted into extinction, or almost into extinction or whatever, and they were the prey species, and then we see some, like, giant Klingork or something, or some, God, who knows what they would do to, like, a Nausicaan or something. Oh no, don't have a Nausicaan go and eat them. They probably will, because that's one of the species that they haven't bastardized yet, that they might in the future. So yeah, they'll have some giant killer Nausicaan or something chomping down Ganglia or something. That'll definitely be a shot we see. Oh God, and I don't want to be reminded of our main character that we're supposed to root for eating Saru in the mirror universe, whether it's by her choice or not. I don't want to be reminded of that. I don't want to be reminded that we're getting a spin-off series possibly starring the Mirror Universe character that served a Kelpian to Michael Burnham. And yes, I kind of say I use the word cannibalism in this show because it is. I mean, you're eating a sentient species. That would be like if you could have a conversation with, you know, your neighbor in France or something and saying, "Oh, you speak a different language than me and you look slightly different, so I can consume you." You know, that's kind of the equivalent there of what I see. And I'm not picking on French people. I just it was the first country that popped into my head. And yeah, it's just like having somebody from another country there. That's how I see the different races and species on Star Trek. It's like somebody coming from another country. So I don't want to see any of that in this episode. Oh, do you guys want to see this episode at all? Or do you just want to see me review it and complain about it? Because I'll probably complain about it. I actually was surprisingly soft on Calypso. Are you guys going to watch this episode at all? Because I don't want to, but man, I know you guys enjoy it when I have things to rant about. So maybe we'll get lucky and it'll be terrible and we'll have something to rant about. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I am MechaRandom42, your favorite YouTube harpy, and I will link my 2 episodes of the Discovery Short Treks in the description below. Warning, I was surprisingly soft on Calypso, but I think I've changed my mind since. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys on the next video or live stream. Bye!